Reckoning. Power without conscience becomes a prison. No wealth, influence, or cunning can shield the soul from the truth of its actions. Every transaction that disregards humanity, every betrayal for profit, builds a debt that must one day be paid not in currency, but in consequence. The Road to Hell. This is a story of Severin Black, a real estate tycoon turned despot. Every interaction is a transaction. He steals, he grifts, and he betrays. This is a story about when he went to hell. What he learns is transactional living dehumanizes everyone, including the self. Severin treated all relationships as leverage. In doing so, he severed his own ability to feel, connect, or repent until it was nearly too late. The past is not dead, it waits. The spirits he meets are not figments, they are consequences, living echoes of his choices. The lives he ruined do not disappear when the books are closed. Redemption requires recognition. Severin is not offered salvation by a higher power, but by his own willingness to face what he has done. The journey is inward, through horror and memory. Final fall is not a punishment, but a beginning. The last scene doesn't offer resolution. The staircase is gone. He must face the void. Whether he climbs or vanishes depends on whether he can change not what he owns. The Reckoning. Other personalities. The Whisperer, a shadowed guide, once human, now bound to escort Severin through the realms of consequence. Spirit of Consequence, wears the wounds of those destroyed by Severin's decisions. Spirit of the Forgotten, shrouded in the faces of the abandoned, faceless multitudes Severin exploited. Spirit of what might have been, silent, cloaked, and final, reveals the ninth circle. Severin's former wife, a spectral memory, once loved, now buried in secrecy. Young Severin, a reflection of who he once was. Chorus of the damned, souls in torment, they narrate, accuse, and echo. The Road to Hell. Act I. Throne of Glass. As he drinks and reflects on his dominance, the atmosphere shifts. Lights flicker. The skyline vanishes. From the shadows emerges the Whisperer, a mysterious cloaked figure who announces that Severin's reckoning is at hand. The Whisperer is not there to threaten or punish, but to reveal. A metaphysical crack forms in the wall behind them, leading into a surreal, broken world beyond the first gate into Severin's own infernal descent. The Reckoning. Act I. Throne of Glass. Scene: Severin Black's penthouse office. Christmas Eve. Stark skyline. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook a sprawling, chaotic city lit with orange emergency lights. Screens show news tickers of collapse, mass evictions, financial ruin, riots. Severin sits at a white obsidian desk. Every surface gleams but offers no warmth. A decanter of expensive scotch. Legal documents. A ledger. Severin into phone. Cold. Tell them the deal's off. If the children freeze, tell them their parents should read the fine print. Pause. Sips his drink. Another screen shows footage of ICE raids, police. The Road to Hell crackdowns, refugee camps. Severin to himself. Damn fools. All of them. I didn't build this empire on pity. He stares at a mirror behind the desk for a moment. He almost sees someone else's face looking back. Sudden flickering of lights. A hum, then silence. The power goes out. Emergency backup lighting kicks in, red and dim. Severin, what now? Enter the Whisperer from the shadows behind the mirror. He appears without sound, cloaked, faceless, presence ancient and unsettling. The Reckoning. Whisperer. Severin Black, broker of ruin. Your bill has come due. Severin scoffing. If this is extortion, get in line. Whisperer. No ransom. No threats. Only the price of your legacy. Severin tries to move, but finds his limbs strangely heavy. Severin, what the hell is this? Whisperer. The Road to Hell. Hell? No. Not yet. Only memory. The windows darken into stone. The skyline outside vanishes. Behind Severin, the door is gone. Only the Whisperer remains. Whisper quietly, you will walk with me, Severin Black. Through every room you built on lies. Through every ledger sealed with suffering. A great cracking sound. The wall behind them splits open, and what lies beyond it is not the building, but shadowed ruins, smoke, and the sound of distant screams. Whisper, this was the view from your throne. Time to see what it cost. Blackout. End of Act I. The Reckoning. Act Roman II. The Spirit of Consequence. Severin is brought to the fifth circle. Anger. He sees his former business partner submerged in toxic sludge, forever cursing the day they met. This spirit reveals the destruction Severin has wrought through his avarice. We watch Severin witness the lives ruined by his choices, suicides, evictions, bankruptcies. The chorus chants fragments from Dante as the spirit burns with every word. Greed starved the soul, fed the mouth. The cost, eternal weight, eternal hunger. The road to hell, Act Roman 2. The descent begins. Scene, the wall in Severin's office crumbles into shadow. The skyline is gone. Instead, a smoky, endless street, part city, part nightmare, stretches forward. Each step crackles like bones underfoot. Distant cries echo through the air like torn paper. Severin hesitant, where are we? This isn't any part of the city I know. Whisper, it is the foundation. Beneath the gold-plated towers, this is what you built upon. Street lamps flicker with no bulbs. Windows bleed light but reveal no rooms. A subway entrance gates like a jaw. Severin, you re-showing me ruins. Poverty. What do I care? They made choices. I made better ones. Whisper, they made your prophets. You made their graves. They pass a man sitting in a chair. His skin is paper. Eyes hollow. He repeats, terms and conditions apply. Chorus of the damned whispering, sign here. Sign here. Sign here. 10. The Reckoning Severin angrily, I never forced anyone. They came to me. A red curtain peels back, revealing an apartment. A child shivers on a mattress. An eviction notice nailed to her coat. Whisper, they trusted a system you rewrote in your own image. Severin, and what would you have had me do? Whisper, see them. The child looks directly at Severin. Her eyes are empty sockets filled with ash. Her voice is not hers, it's hundreds layered into one. 11. The road to hell, child, do you see me now? Severin turns away. The city shifts again. Towers melt. Asphalt bubbles. The walls crawl with clauses in blood-red ink. By accepting these terms, you relinquish all. Severin, frantic, you trying to make me feel guilt. It won't work. I survived. Whisper, you think this is punishment. This is only the walk-through. Pity comes later. Thunder cracks above. A black limousine screeches past, filled with versions of Severin, each shouting at each other, tearing paper contracts with their teeth. It crashes into a wall and vanishes. Severin whispering, was that me? Whisper, versions of what you became to stay unbroken. Each left someone else in pieces. 12. The Reckoning, the pavement opens like a wound. Whisper, gesturing ahead, come. Spirit of consequence waits. You must meet your investments. Scene shift, a new landscape corrupted, sulfuric. Crimson fog clings to molten stone. Lava seeps through fractured marble columns. Fifth circle, anger. Severin stumbles forward and sees a stagnant, bubbling lake of glowing toxic sludge. Swarms of biting death notes rise like insects. At its center, a grotesque figure submerged to the chin, his former business partner. Partner spirit. 13. The road to hell, you ruined me. You smiled when you did it. Severin watches in disbelief as golden chains loop around the partner's arms, contracts signed long ago. Whisper, you traded trust for leverage. Integrity for profit. All around the lake, ghostly hands reach out from beneath the sludge, crying, clawing, gasping faces of those lost to eviction, suicide, and despair. A woman dissolves into ash. A man drifts past with foreclosure paperwork etched across his chest. Chorus of the damned chanting in Dantean meter. 14. The Reckoning, greed starved the soul, fed the mouth. The cost, the eternal weight, eternal hunger. Spirit burns with every word, but cannot die. Partner, I gave you everything. And when the knife came, it was gold-plated. Severin, softly, you were weak. Whisper, no. He was loyal. And you weaponized his faith. The surface of the sludge solidifies momentarily, revealing Severin's own reflection. But his face is bloated, melting. Whisper, onward. The sludge cracks. Severin moves, stepping carefully, the air thick with screams and sulfur. A blood-red staircase appears. Severin, where now? Whisper, to the forgotten, and to those who remember you all too well. 15. The road to hell. The sludge cracks. Severin moves, stepping carefully, the air thick with screams and sulfur. A blood-red staircase appears. 16. The Reckoning, Act Roman 3. The spirit of the forgotten. Now in the seventh circle, violence against others, Severin sees Lucia, his sister, guiding the forgotten souls he discarded. The Reckoning, Act Roman 3. The spirit of the forgotten. Now in the seventh circle, violence against others, Severin sees Lucia, his sister, guiding the forgotten souls he discarded. Homeless, immigrants, children of war, all pass through his balance sheets unseen. Lucia, radiant yet sad, calls him by name and asks, "Was your soul worth their breath?" The segment ends with Severin falling to his knees, echoing Scrooge, "I didn't know I didn't see." 17. The road to hell. The spirit of the forgotten says, "No, you chose not to." Act Roman 3. The spirit of the forgotten. Scene: the descent has taken them to a blasted plain of ash and bone. The sky glows a pale crimson. A black sun burns overhead without warmth. The landscape is war-torn in vast mud, rubble, barbed wire, broken homes, and ghost cities lost to fire. In the silence, wind carries whispers, languages from around the world, all pleading. The cries of refugees, orphans, and mothers echo faintly from nowhere and everywhere. 18. The Reckoning of Severin shaken. What is this place? Whisper, this is what you never saw. What your contracts buried. What your prophets ignored. The Earth of the forgotten emerges. A towering presence cloaked in translucent faces, children, elders, outcasts, vanished souls all stitched together like a living quilt of memory. Their eyes glow faintly. Spirit of the forgotten, these are the forgotten. Not by God. Not by time. But by you. From the shadows steps a figure in white, once elegant, now worn by time. It. 19. The road to hell is Severin's former wife. Not as she died, but as she once loved. Former wife, you looked into my eyes and never saw me again. Severin barely whispering, I was surviving. I did what I had to. Spirit of the forgotten, you called them margins. Risks. Losses. But these were people. The plain rises like a stage. Thousands of translucent figures march across it, homeless veterans, climate migrants, tenants evicted with no notice. A child pushes a broken stroller. A nurse dies beside a closed clinic door. Chorus of the damned, soft, rhythmic, pushed from the ledger, erased by the pen. Forgotten by greed, never again. Severin, I didn't know I didn't see. Spirit of the forgotten, no. You chose not to. 20. The reckoning. From behind the spirit, an unmarked grave opens. Not one. Thousands. And one more, a small patch of scorched grass on a golf course. A woman's wedding ring lies half buried in it. Severin collapsing to his knees, forgive me. Spirit of the forgotten, it is not for me to grant. But you will remember. All the forgotten turn to face Severin. Their gaze does not accuse. It waits. Whisper, you have met the memory you feared. Now face what you became. A gate made of scorched steel opens. Beyond it, ice and silence. Whisper softly to the ninth circle. 21. The road to hell. Act Roman 4. The spirit of what might have been. Descending to the ninth circle, treachery. Severin is shown his fate, an eternity frozen in ice, not screaming, not crying, only aware and mute. He sees his name inscribed in a book alongside history's most damned. This ghost speaks no words but holds a broken clock and points to the present moment. Time has stopped for him. 22. The Reckoning. Act Roman 4. The spirit of what might have been. Scene: Severin and the Whisperer now enter a vast expanse of silent ice. All color is drained. Monochrome whites, silvers, and pale blues stretch endlessly in all directions. The ninth circle. The wind no longer howls. It hisses. Above them, a fractured sky pulses with violet lightning, yet makes no sound. The air itself crackles with unbearable stillness. Frozen figures are entombed beneath translucent ice faces, twisted in betrayal, mouths open in silent screams. Severin shivering, I feel nothing. I can't move my hands. 23. The road to hell. Whisper, this is the place reserved for those who betray not out of rage or desperation, but out of calculation. A shadow emerges from the fog. A tall, cloaked figure, the spirit of what might have been, floats inches above the ice. Its face is obscured by frost. It says nothing. The spirit raises one arm. In its hand, a shattered clock, frozen at the hour of Severin's first great betrayal. It lowers the clock towards Severin's chest, where time halts, his heartbeat visible in his throat, but motionless. It then gestures slowly to a monumental tome embedded in the ice. Severin approaches. In golden calligraphy under a thick frozen sheet, Severin Black. Severin whispering, this is my legacy? Other names surround his, figures of infamy, despots, traitors. He reads each one. Each name burns into the air like a brand. Severin tries to speak, but no sound escapes. Spirit places a finger to its own lips, then to Severin's. Whisper, here, there is no redemption. Only recognition. The spirit touches Severin's shoulder. The ice rises around his feet, wrapping upward. His limbs freeze in mid-gesture. His mouth remains open, not in protest, but in awareness. He is not punished. He is preserved as a warning. Everything slows. Time bends inward. The clock shatters. Its shards fall upward. Whisper softly, you have seen what you were. What you chose. What became of you. Severin remains encased in silence. Whisper facing outward, let him be remembered by the stillness he bought. 24. The Reckoning Finale. The Reckoning. Severin awakens back in his office. Or so he thinks. The whisper lingers. It's Christmas morning. Has he been spared? Is it too late? He reaches for his phone to call his daughter, but the line is dead. The final lines are ambiguous. The whisper, you may yet rise. But first, you must fall completely. Lights dim as Severin opens his office door and finds the stairwell missing, just darkness and wind below. 25. The Road to Hell Act V. The Reckoning. Scene. Severin wakes with a start. He's in his office. The skyline outside gleams with morning sun. Snow falls gently. Screens are dark. His drink sits untouched. Everything is clean in place. He breathes heavily. Touches the desk. Stands. Silence. Severin muttering, was it a dream? The mirror is whole. His reflection looks back exactly the same. Or almost. He picks up his phone. Dials. Silence. No tone. No static. Just emptiness. Severin softly, no. Behind him, the whisper appears one final time. No longer shadowed, but more defined face, still unreadable, presence immense. Whisper, you've walked the ledger of your soul. Severin, am I dead? Whisper. 26. The Reckoning, not yet. Severin, is it too late? The whisper walks past him toward the office door. It creaks open, beyond it only wind and void. Whisper, he may yet rise. But first, you must fall completely. Severin approaches the door. A long pause. He looks out. There's no stairwell, no hallway. Just darkness. And the faint sound of his own name, whispered endlessly by the wind. The lights dim slowly. A chill grows in the air. Severin stands, silhouetted in the doorway.